biomechanics. So can anybody say, like during your 12th class, your school days, you have heard of the subject biology? Huh? So there are various other subjects which are associated with biology. Can you name any some of them? Subjects which are associated with biology.
Chemistry.
No, chemistry is not associated with
Anatomy.
Physiology.
Botany.
Yeah.
And
There's biomechanics, physiology, biochemistry is also there. Biomechanics, anatomy, and physiology, these are subjects which is associated with biology. So I will be dealing with the subject biomechanics and the topic. So this is a new subject for you, biomechanics. In the near BBA curriculum, there is no subject for biomechanics. So if you are going for MBA, there will be an option for choosing biomechanics. So I will be trying to give some basic idea or concept dealing with biomechanics. So my topic is basic biomechanical concept. Okay. So to begin with, what is biomechanics? So it is a study of structure, function of a body in mechanical analysis. We are analyzing mechanically the functions of a body, not like the functions of the body are various functions are like the system is a function of the body. We are analyzing it mechanically. That comes under biomechanics. Okay. So biomechanics is the study of structure, function, and the motion of the mechanical aspect of a biological system. We are taking a biological system, we are studying it mechanically, their functions. This is called biomechanics. It is derived from a Greek word, ancient Greek word bio, which means life, and mechanics, which means to study their mechanical principles. So this is biomechanics. So the picture is a complicated one. It's the various analysis, mechanical analysis of the body parts. So the basic thing existing in the universe is the mass. Every object in the universe you can see there is some sort of mass in it. So to have mass, there is a combination of atoms. The atom is the basic unit of life or component. So millions of atoms combine to form a body or a matter. So every body in the universe has its own mass. Even this pen, leaf, whatever you may take, it should be having a mass. And mass is such a thing, wherever you go, the mass will remain same. It's not necessary that if I am taking this pen to there, the mass will change. No, there won't be any change. If I am taking this pen to moon also, its mass, if it's 10 gram, it will be remain 10 gram in the moon itself. Yeah, in moon, due to the gravitational activity, our weight may change, the weight of the body, because there is no gravitational force in it. So the weight may change, but the mass will always remain constant. So the mass is the measure of the amount of material in an object. How much material is there in the object? It is called mass. And the mass is measured by, it's in kilogram. Okay? Kilogram. So the mass is constant in nature. Wherever you go, the mass will remain same only. So next is weight. We have talked about mass. The same mass, if there is a gravitational force acting on it, then it is called weight. If this is a mass and I am keeping this, now what? The gravitational force is acting on it. It becomes the weight of the object. How we check the weight of a human body? We step into the weighing machine and it shows the reading. How it shows the reading? Our gravitational force is applying to the weighing machine and it shows reading. So the weight is, it can simply said as the gravitational force acting on a body mass. This is the body mass on which the gravitational force is acting. It is the weight. So we can simply describe it as weight is equal to mass into gravitational force, or you can also write it as acceleration due to gravity. Okay. So this is the product of mass and gravitational force. So this is the formula you can see. Okay. So next is motion. From the word motion, what you can see, what you can imagine. From the word motion, what you can imagine?
Anything which is not stable.
Yeah, there is a movement, some sort of movement is there. If motion is happening means there is a movement. How can you say that the body is moving? Imagine there is complete whiteness. You can see nothing. Complete white. And if I walk also, you won't be able to say that I am walking because there is no reference point. It's complete blank. For understanding motion, there should be some reference point. Like if I am walking, you are having this board as the reference point. If you are looking at the board and I am walking, means the board is remaining in its own position and I am moving. So there should be some reference point for motion to happen. So the motion is a change in position over time. Means there is a time span and you are doing movement. That is motion. The motion is mathematically described in terms of displacement, distance, velocity, acceleration, speed and time. To measure motion, you can measure it only by, like I am walking from here to here, the distance I have covered, or the displacement I have done, the speed at which I am walking, the velocity at which I am moving, or the time taken for me to move from here to there. So these are the measurements through which the motion can be measured. Okay. So what is motion? Motion is a movement with respect to some reference point. There should be some reference point so that you can understand whether I have done motion or not.
So, what is the difference between velocity and acceleration?
Yeah, I am coming to. I have this in my topic here. Okay. So distance. So I have said for measuring the distance, for measuring motion, I need to check the distance, displacement, and all. So what is distance? What is distance? Like I have asked a sprinter to run 100 meters. So what is the distance covered?
100 meters.
Yeah, the 100 meters is the distance covered. Means the movement from the starting to the finishing point. It is the distance. Like for example, if I am asking a cross country athlete to run for some distance of 10 kilometers, he run like this. This is the first point A, and this is the B. The total measurement from here to this point, it is the distance covered. So what is distance? Distance is the numerical measurement of how far an object or a point R, means it is the object and it is final destination. How far the distance he has to travel to reach here. That measurement is the distance. So what is displacement? Displacement means the shortest distance from the initial to the final point. So this is the initial point and this is the final point. The shortest distance. This is the displacement. Okay. So this is the displacement. You see. The distance means the long distance, the long route which the body travel, and the displacement means the shortest distance. Okay. So in no case the distance means the displacement can be more than distance. Means always the distance will be more. Both can be equal. If the distance is also same and the displacement also same. Means if in 100 meters you are running a straight line, at that time what? The distance will also be same, the displacement will also be same. But in some cases the distance will be more, but the displacement will always remain less. In no case it cannot exist. Means displacement more than distance, it cannot happen. Okay. So next is velocity and speed. So first we will be talking about speed. What is speed? Speed means rate of change of position. How fast I am moving. How fast I move from this point to that point. That is the speed. Means how much time I have taken from here to reach here. That is the speed. So it is speed means denoted by S. Distance covered in unit time. How much distance I have covered in how much time? That is the speed. So speed is there are two quantities. Everything in the universe has some quantity. Like I said, mass. Mass is a quantity. So there are two types of quantities: scalar and vector quantity. Can anybody say what is the difference between scalar and vector quantity? Scalar and vector quantity. Scalar quantity means there is only magnitude. There is only a number. Like if I am saying my weight is 48 kg, so that 48 is a scalar quantity. Means there is only number. Okay. And what is vector quantity? The vector quantity can exist only if there is a number along with direction. Means force. I have applied force in forward direction. I have applied force in sideward direction. Means this is a vector quantity. It has a number existing along with the direction. So like if I am saying I have applied 5 Newton force in forward direction. This is a scalar quantity. This is a vector quantity. This is a scalar quantity. Got it? So what I was trying to say is the speed is a scalar quantity and velocity is a vector quantity. Why? The velocity is the rate of change of speed. How fast or how much speed you are changing in your entire journey. How, I mean, if you are moving at 5 meters per second, suddenly you went to 10 meters per second. That change is the velocity. The rate of change of speed is the velocity. The velocity of an object is the rate of change of motion with respect to the frame of reference as a function of time. Okay, so this is the velocity. So there is an example given: 60 kilometers to north. I said now there should be some direction indicating. Then only it will be a vector quantity. Velocity is a vector quantity, so it is given 60 kilometers towards north. Okay, I was moving this like this way, and suddenly I change the direction. There is a different velocity for this phase and different velocity for this phase. Means whenever there is a change in speed or a change in direction, then only a velocity can exist. Okay. So this is an example. The speed is simply how fast you are traveling, and velocity is a speed in a given direction. Means I have shown you two directions. How fast you are moving in this direction and how fast you are moving in this direction. That is the velocity, the change in speed. So, next one was acceleration. You are asking acceleration. Acceleration also a vector quantity. Means to denote acceleration also, you need to show some direction. So, what is acceleration? Acceleration is change in velocity. Rate of change of velocity is acceleration. So, I have said velocity. Now, velocity is denoted by initial velocity plus final velocity by 2. It is the velocity. Okay. And next will be acceleration. Acceleration equal to change in velocity, means final velocity minus initial velocity by the time taken. Velocity initial and velocity final minus velocity initial by the time taken. It is the acceleration. Is how much velocity was in your final position and how much velocity was in the initial position divided by time. It is the acceleration. Any doubts? So,
what is average velocity?
Huh?
What is average velocity?
Average velocity means the average. There will be, I have said there will be two, when for a velocity to happen, there will be a change in speed. The speed at this direction will be different and the speed at this direction will be different. Average between these two speeds, that will be the average velocity. Means if you are moving at 20 meters per second and it is 30 meters per second, average velocity will be 20 plus 30 by 2. This is the average velocity. So, what is force? The force is any interaction when unopposed will change in motion. Means whenever there is an action given and it results in some change in the state of the body, that is called force. It may be in the form of a push, it may be in the form of a pull. If I am pushing an object and it moves, or if I am pulling an object if it moves, the situation can also happen like that. I am giving a force and still it's not moving because the force given is not enough for the object to move. Then also the force is applied. This push or pull is called the force. A force has both magnitude and direction. The force is also a vector quantity. The force also has both magnitude and direction. If you are not mentioning the direction, then the force cannot exist. The SI unit of force for every like in physics, the scientists have given some SI units to denote that. Like for example, I am simply writing 50. What can you imagine? We will just think it's a number. So when I write 50 kg, then you will understand it's a weight. So for making this simpler, the scientists have given some terms to denote it. So that is Newton as N. This is the unit of force. I am writing 50, and means it is a unit of force. 50 Newton. Okay, got it? So when you have always seen, like in the track and field event, there is a hammer throw. Have you heard hammer throw event? What happens is that the athlete will rotate like this, na? This is what this is. This is circular motion. The object is moving in a circular path. Object is moving in a circular path. So for making that movement in a circular motion, there is two forces acting on it. For making that movement exist. This is the object and this is center point. It's moving in a circular path. For making that movement to exist, there should be two forces acting on it, and it should be equal amount. That two forces are centripetal force and centrifugal force. What is centripetal force? Centripetal force is the force which is acting inward, which is pulling the object inward, and centrifugal force is the force which is keeping the object outward. So if I am rotating this object like this, and what happens, I just remove it, I mean release it. It will try to travel in straight line. Like if the object reaches this point, and I remove it. So what it happens is tries to travel in this direction. So what happens at that moment? The centripetal force which is pulling that object inward will go to zero, and the centrifugal force, whatever the speed at which I am rotating it, it will go maximum. So this same principle is used in hammer throw. They will rotate as fast as they can, and they release it. So at that moment, what happens? The centripetal force will be completely zero, and centrifugal force will be maximum as much as they can. Then it reaches the farthest distance possible. So this is the centripetal and centrifugal force. So means in this case, the tension of the rope, the tension which the rope is providing, is the centripetal force. And what happens if the centripetal force exceeds centrifugal force? Means if the I have said that when the centripetal force is zero, it will go away. And there can be a situation when the centripetal force can dominate centrifugal force. But at that moment, this rope will break. If I am rotating in such a force that it is more than the centrifugal force, the rope will break. This happens. Okay. Any doubts? So what was centripetal force? Centripetal was the force which is trying to keep the object in the circular motion, which is pulling inward, and centrifugal force is the which is trying the object to move outward. So if it is in a balanced state, then the object will be in this circular motion. Okay. So what is friction? What is friction? Every object it is not necessary that every object in the universe should be uniform size, uniform shape. So whenever there is a object of ununiformity, there will be the existence of friction. Like why I am standing firmly? Because there is some sort of friction acting between my shoes and the floor. If there is no friction, it starts slipping. So this friction is very essential force which is acting on this paper. The friction is the force resting relative motion of solid surface, fluid, and material and elements. That means it is the force which is acting between objects. Okay. So there are different types of friction depending upon the objects, which is dry friction. What is dry friction? Dry friction means the friction is happening between two solid surfaces, like this imagine this dust and this marker, this duster. The friction which is happening between these two layers, it is the dry friction, because this also is solid, this is also solid. The friction happening between this is the dry friction. Next is fluid friction. What is fluid? Fluid is a semi-solid liquid. It's a type of water friction. So the friction happening between two fluids, oil and water. If I am putting oil over water, and there should be some force acting to move that oil. The friction which is happening between the water and oil, that comes under fluid friction. Next is lubricated friction. Lubricated friction means friction happening between fluid and a solid. Like if you are putting oil in between this door, for easy movement, the friction which is happening in between, it is known as lubricated friction. We are using that oil as a lubrication. So this is the lubricated friction. And next is skin friction. Between two solid surface, you are applying a fluid as a for providing friction. This is skin friction. And next, last one is internal friction. You have seen the ice cube. Ice cube. You have filled this with water and you have kept in freezer. At the time of what, if you try to make it upside down, the water will fall down. And what happens when it freezes? What happens when it freezes? This solid from fluid it changes to ice. Means there is a change in form. Means because before in fluid form it changed to ice form. So at that time this friction got increased, and when it became ice and you try to make it upside down, it won't fall. That is because of the internal friction. The friction caused due to some sort of deformation. Deformation means change in formation. Because fluid it changed to ice and the friction got increased. That is the internal friction. So this is the last topic. Okay, that is center of gravity. Can anybody say what is center of gravity? What is center of gravity?
It puts Earth is pulling us down.
That is gravitational force. So center of gravity is an imaginary point. So it's an imaginary point in which we can say the entire mass of the body is said to be concentrated. It is that point where the entire mass of the body is said to be concentrated. If you are trying to lift an object, at that point it will remain in a balanced state like this. In this pen, the center of mass is somewhere around here. So if I am trying to lift this pen from that center of mass or center of gravity, it will remain in a balanced state. So what is that? The center of gravity of an object is the point at which the weight is evenly dispersed on all sides in balance. Means at the right side as well as the left side, forward and backward, the weight is evenly balanced. That point is known as center of gravity. So the point where the center of gravity is there, it will be, if you try to lift it, then we can say that it will be in the state of equilibrium. It will be in the state of equilibrium. A human center of gravity can change as it takes on different positions, but in many other objects, it's in a fixed location. Like for example, this is a solid. For the entire lifespan of this, the center of gravity will be fixed. Like we are human. At every movement, the center of gravity changes. If I am trying to lift my hand, doing abduction or adduction, the center of gravity will change. If I am bending forward, the center of gravity will change. Means in human, the center of gravity is not fixed. For women, it is said that the center of gravity will be much lower compared to men's. In child, when you are child, the center of gravity will be much higher compared to adult. So I am trying to say that in humans, the center of gravity is not fixed. Okay. Any doubts? So this is some precision. So today we have discussed about what is biomechanics. So biomechanics is study of the mechanical aspects of a living body. That is biomechanics. So we have discussed about mass, how mass is different from weight, what is motion, how the motion happens, and distance, what is the difference between distance and displacement, difference between velocity, speed and acceleration, what is force, how force is applied, and we have also talked about the difference between centripetal and centrifugal force. We have also discussed what is friction, types of friction, and last we also discussed what is center of gravity. Any doubts? So I am proceeding to my assessment part. So, what is biomechanics? Sympathetic.
Biomechanics is the study of human body analysis.
This is study of human body analysis, and this study is done mechanically. So this is biomechanics. The biomechanics is study of structure, function, or motion of the mechanical aspect of a biological system. So this is the true or false. Okay? The mass of a body can change according to its environment. Is it true or false? False. It's false because wherever you go, the mass will remain same. Even if it's Earth or Moon or anywhere, it will be same. So SI unit of force is kilogram. True or false? SI unit of force. What is it? Newton. The SI unit of force is Newton. N denoted by N. So it's false. And kilogram is the unit of its mass. So last question. Dash is the point at which the entire weight of the body is said to be concentrated. Dash is a point at which center of gravity. Yeah, center of gravity. Thank you, class.